and grow.
Hello. Hello. I am Goodness John, and I am one of your instructors for the virtual assistant training. And I have I've been working as a virtual assistant for over a year now, and so I can proudly say I can take you on this course or through this journey of product management. So as soon as the other instructors come on, I will call them up to introduce them to you guys. So in the meantime, here is something. Here is the course outline for virtual assistance training. So let me share my screen. Okay, sorry. Okay, give it a minute, please. Can you guys see my screen? Sorry, can you all see my screen? Hello, can you guys see my screen? Okay, great. So here is the outline. So for month one, and sorry, this class is going to be for 3 months. So for month one, here are the things we're going to go through. For the first, month one is going to be for foundational and soft skills. So we have 3 weeks in month one. For month one, we're going to go through the introduction of virtual assistant, which is what you're, which is what you're experiencing now. And month week two is going to be soft skills. Month two is going to be soft skills development. Month three, sorry, week three is going to be digital literacy and productivity tools. So we're going to be teaching you how to use all the productivity tools which are necessary for a virtual assistant. For month two, then we're going to go deeper and talk about administrative and office support skills. So week four, so for the first class in month two, it's going to be administrative support, followed by data management and analysis. Then we are going to talk about customer support. For month three, we're going to talk about, you guys are going to be learning about specialization and business development. And the topics under month three will be the topics under month three will be specialization, business development, financial management, and business operations and growth. So hopefully this curriculum will be shared to you guys. So for the introduction, so let's go to the introduction. So understanding the roles of a virtual assistant. Sorry, I was distracted there. So welcome to the introduction to the introductory class for virtual assistants. So the first topic is understanding the roles of a virtual assistant. As you all know, being a virtual assistant, based on the word virtual, it means you are there, but you are not there. It's kind of funny, but so the definition of a virtual assistant is a self-employed professional who provides administrative, technical, or creative assistance remotely. Get that word, remotely. So that's why we all say we work remotely because we are virtual assistants technically. So yeah, remotely, we work remotely. And then the key responsibilities of a virtual assistant are administrative support, technical assistance, and creative services. So it depends on the kind of client you have. You can your roles would be can vary based on the kind of client you work with, or depending on the niche you choose to go into. Speaking of niche, that would be something that would cover later in the course. So the basic skills required for being a virtual assistant will be communication, time management, proficiency in software tools, and self-discipline. So for the self-discipline part, it's crazy because if you're not self-disciplined, you won't be able to manage your time. You wouldn't be able to work really well. ever experienced working from home? Maybe a day when you were maybe sick and you decided to get some productive time at home. Honestly, it's really difficult. So working from home is it requires a lot of self discipline. And then next, your work environment. You need to be able to work remotely. So working remotely, you require good internet. You require a laptop. People do work from their phones or with their phones, but having a laptop makes everything easier. So that's one of the most required things you need, a laptop. But you can definitely work from your phone. But if you work from your phone, you'll be limited, unlike when you work from your laptop. So next, you have flexible hours. You can work flexibly, or if you are working based on a different time zone, then maybe you'll be restricted in that area. But if you're not working based on your time zone, you're working with your own time zone, you can work based on your own hours or based on your own availability. You can choose to work. Okay, let's say you're working 4 hours a day. You can choose to work 2 hours now and 2 hours later in the evening. And then you have diverse clients. You can have, if you have more than one client, maybe three clients, you can have a you can have one that is pretty demanding. You can have one that is a little bit lighter on the demand. There can be some that can require you to work based on their own time zone. Maybe you start 9 o'clock their own time. So if you are starting 9 o'clock their own time zone, it's going to be very, very rough for you. And then some clients are very kind, some are not. So depends on the ones you find. So now understanding the roles of a virtual assistant in details. So you have detailed responsibilities. The most basic roles of a virtual assistant will be email management, scheduling, content creation, and IT support. So for email management, you can have clients that have very, very rough um, emails. Yeah, you can have like 5,000 unread messages. You can have a lot of spam emails. They can have people reaching out to them trying to sell them things. So you are going to be working with different types of emails. You would see a lot of emails when you work as a virtual assistant. And then scheduling, most of them don't really have time to do their own social media. So they just try to binge create content, and then you will be in charge of scheduling the content to different their different social media, or maybe scheduling messages, email messages, or replying to their messages. Sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah. Hello. Yes, sir. Yes. Mhm. Okay. Sorry about that. So for content creation, you might be required by your clients to help them create content, maybe just basic graphic design. You can use Canva. Canva is one of the most important tools for content creation for virtual assistants, because you Canva can do a lot. You can use Canva to create thumbnails, to create basically anything, and edit video. Okay, not really edit videos, because editing videos will not be in details like that. So for IT support, if you get a client, maybe they have a CRM, you can be added to their CRM, and you can help them with their business growth. Basically, CRM is going to help organize their clients' data, and then you're going to be there, and you would be maybe in charge of responding to messages, because messages can go in through CRMs. So you can respond to their CRMs. If they have an onboarding system, you would help them with their onboarding system, help manage their clients, basically. And for case studies, okay. So I wanted to explain some examples of successful virtual assistants in various industries, but my note is not so organized on that yet. So we'll skip that part for now. Maybe we'll come back to it later on in the class. So here are some pros and cons of being a virtual assistant. So when you are a virtual assistant, obviously I spoke about flexibility. So you would be flexible depending on your client. Your work hours will be flexible depending on your client. You would basically be living the life because you will be able to work an hour now, an hour in the afternoon, an hour later in the evening. So it depends on your clients. And then independent, you would be given the opportunity to make decisions by yourself for the client, obviously. You will be able to you will be able to post based on what you think is right or what you have experienced. Maybe you have been working for this client for over 3 weeks or over a month. You'll be able to you will start to notice the patterns of maybe how the messages come in. You'll be able to push them to different folders, different labels, depending on you, depending on what you think is right for the client. So that's what it means to be independent. So you have, and some of your challenges, so the cons now can include isolation. You'll be working alone. If your client is demanding and he wants you to work based on his own hours, you would be you would not have your night. You would your time will be, should I say, stolen from you because you are actually working for someone else. So you are going to be working maybe late into the night, and then self motivation. It can be very difficult if you don't have self discipline. You would lose motivation. You would want to quit all the time. So my very quick advice before you go deep into this journey, you should find your own self motivation. You should start building habits to be self disciplined so you'll be able to work even when you don't want to work. Because if you can't do that, you would be frustrated all the time. So we have different types of virtual assistants. We have we have the administrative virtual assistants, we have technical virtual assistants, we have marketing virtual assistants, and we have specialized virtual assistants. So me, I am a specialized virtual assistant. So basically, let me go over all the types of virtual assistants and what they do. So for administrative virtual assistants, they help manage calendars, emails, travel arrangements, and other clerical tasks. So for technical virtual assistants, they help with IT support, website maintenance, cybersecurity, and software development. So if you get a job maybe with a developer, you can help him with different things. I don't really know how that part works. So for marketing virtual assistants, you help with social media management, email marketing, SEO optimization, and content creation. Like I mentioned, you can use Canva for that, social media management, and other stuff. So for specialized VAs, we have legal assistants, real estate VAs, medical transcriptionists. So I work with, okay, let's not go into that. So for specialized VAs, you can help with custom tags. You can help people that you don't really think you can help actually. So maybe someone who is a photographer, you can help him organize his photos, his shoots, and then deliver the content to the client. So here are some types of VA tools and some examples. So we have Microsoft Office, basically for administrative views. Um, Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Asana. Asana is a project management tool. It's very, it's a very useful tool for businesses. So for technical virtual assistants, you have WordPress, GitHub, AWS, and for tools for marketing, you have Hotsuite, Mailchimp, Google Analytics. So basically, these are tools that you use for maybe Mailchimp now is for I've forgotten the word for their email list. Yes, you can help with their email list, and then Google Analytics helps them know where their data is coming from, where their users are coming from. So you're going to be helping them organize that data. And examples we have. Okay, what do you mean? So the virtual assistant market and its growth. So we have virtual assistant market has been on the rise for a very long time, and I think what gave way to the virtual assistant market was the COVID. A lot of people saw the need for virtual assistants, and then they started um, hiring people from across the world, different countries, because now you are working from home. Instead of having your whole team meeting up, you can just have virtual assistants. So I think that was what gave way to the market for virtual assistants. So some of the growth drivers were technological advancements, globalization, and shift in work cultures. So key places that demand virtual assistants a lot are US, UK, Canada, Australia. Like if you have a client in one of these countries, you will be like those guys are one of the best clients because they pay the most. So we have some future trends in the virtual assistance market. So in niche markets, we have in niche markets, there's a lot of growth in specialized virtual assistants like legal, like we have legal and medical virtual assistants. So automation, there's a lot of increased use of AI and automation tools to enhance virtual assistant services. Like you can use ChatGPT to help come up with content ideas and other things. And then for global talent pool, there's a continued rise in demand as more businesses adopt flexible work arrangements. Basically, all there are a lot of businesses coming up every day, and a lot of them actually requires virtual assistants to help boost their growth. And because it's cheaper to pay virtual assistants from another country than to um, sorry about that. So So there are some re- really good opportunities where virtual assistants are in demand, are in high demand actually. Like so a lot of small businesses now coming up. If we should check Instagram, day by day we have a lot of businesses coming up. They're just sprouting up, and so here is one example that I know of. We have consultants, business coaches. They need a lot of virtual. They need virtual assistants basically because they are very very busy and they get a lot of messages every time and they can't really handle those by themselves. And so they need virtual assistants or they need assistants basically. So if you should reach out to a consultant or a coach that you offer, you have you offer a virtual assistant service, they would actually consider you more than hiring a full-time employee over there in their country because the price difference will be a lot. Like the margin will be a lot. So the future of virtual assistants. So if you are going into the virtual assistance industry, you should focus on communication, tech proficiency. You should learn how to communicate with people. You should learn a lot of. You should learn a little bit about tech, or you should be proficient in using some tools, some basic technological tools like communication. For communication, you have tools like Slack, and for project management, you should. Okay, and you should learn to adapt. You should learn to be able to work with different people. You should learn to work with different people because over the time, reaching out to people online, you meet a lot of people. Some people can be rude, some people can be kind, some people can be demanding, some people can be light on that. So you should learn to you should be able to adapt to all these kind of things. And crazy enough, you should stay updated on AI. AI is taking over a lot of things, and you should stay updated on that. And automation, if you can, if you can use an automation tool to make your work easier, that would make your job much more flexible because you will have more time to do other things. So you should learn all these automation tools. So personal growth, you should invest in continuous learning and skills. You should learn how to communicate. You should learn how to speak proper English. You should learn how to use punctuations. Very, very important because some of them, when if you should reach out to someone or you work with someone, if you should reach out to someone, so sorry, my partner is frustrated right here. So if you should reach out to someone and your English is not so good, the chances of them ignoring your message very very high. or you are working with someone and you are helping them to communicate with their clients, you have to be able to communicate like them. Because if not, they will feel like their client is, if you should not, if their client does, your client doesn't tell his client that his virtual assistant is the one reaching out, they will think that your client is a scam, because your English has got to be good, like really good, so you'll be able to communicate with his clients. So if you have questions, please put them in the questions or type them out, and I will go over them, or me and my colleague will answer your questions.
The world of technology is constantly evolving, which means there's always an opportunity to learn and grow.
My name is which I got.
Hey guys, welcome back. So this is Cynthia. So Cynthia, please say hi to you guys.
Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. My sincere apologies for joining in late. See, my partner has assisted in the basic introduction, and I will take the question segment. So, if you have any questions, please let me know. I am also a virtual assistant. I am currently working in the I'm a virtual assistant that is not working in Nigeria basically, because that's another perk of being a virtual assistant. You have the opportunity of not just assisted in your country, you can assist in any country you can actually think. All you have to do is just land a job. So I will be going through and giving you more insights into all of that really soon on our upcoming topics. Right now, I am open to any questions that you might have, and I will happily answer them for you. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, very nice.
I think it's because we're too close.
Okay, so I saw some of your questions in the comments. Someone asked about the various types of virtual assistants and their tools. So, for the various types of virtual assistants, I mentioned we have administrative virtual assistants. So, those guys manage calendars, emails, travel arrangements, and other clerical tasks. Then we have technical virtual assistants. That's IT support, website maintenance, cyber security, and software development. So it depends on if you have a client, maybe they want you to help them to manage their website, because those guys, they need to update their websites from time to time. Or you can help with cyber security. That's if you have those technical skills. And then for software development, you can work with a software developer who maybe needs your help with acquiring some data or some doing some research about other. I don't really know how that goes, but with time you get to understand that. And then we have marketing virtual assistants. So those guys, they help with social media management, email marketing, SEO optimization. So for the meaning of SEO, it's search engine um, search engine optimization, I think, and then you help with content creation. Like so, I'll go over some of the tools for this guys, and then specialized virtual assistants. You help with legal assistants. You can help with lawyers. You can help lawyers, and then you can work with real estate agents or maybe photographers, real estate photographers, and then we have medical transcriptionists. So for medical transcriptionists, the kind of work you do for them is that you help them to transcribe some of their maybe audios. Yes, some audios. I don't. They get some audios, and you help them to transcribe those audios. But for that, you have to be conversant with the medical language. You know how doctors speak and write. Those guys are special, really. So some of the tools they use. So tools for administrative virtual assistants can be Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Asana. Like I mentioned before, Asana is a project management tool. And sorry, just to confirm, before I go further, type in the comment section if I am audible enough. Can you hear me? Okay, someone, so can I be more audible? Okay, I'm glad you can hear me. All right, so let me go further. So I mentioned Asana is a project management tool. They use it to organize the whole project, basically, or a whole project or different projects. So the various steps or the various parts of the projects are all organized in Asana, or some people use Trello for their project management. So tools for technical virtual assistants, we have WordPress. I don't know if you guys are conversant with WordPress. WordPress is a web hosting platform. So you can easily build websites through WordPress. And then GitHub is another whole platform on its own. I don't really know about the technical virtual assistants, but these are tools they use. And then there's AWS as well. Then for marketing virtual assistants, we have tools like Hotsuite, MailChimp, and Google Analytics. So I'm more conversant with MailChimp and Google Analytics. MailChimp is MailChimp. A lot of businesses use MailChimp to organize their email list. So businesses have email lists, people they market to, they send marketing emails to, they send updates through their emails to them. So some companies can have maybe 100,000 email list, and you'll be responsible for managing that email list and also sending out their newsletters. I know a lot of you get newsletters all the time. Like me, I'm subscribed to a lot of newsletters. So these companies use those tools like MailChimp to send out those emails because you can't settle down to send out the same email 100,000 times. So it will take a longer period of time. But if you're using tools like MailChimp, it just automates the whole process. And then Google Analytics, a lot of businesses get their data from Google Analytics. So they track people, they are go to their websites, you can get their demographics, that's their age, their behavior, their online behaviors, because a lot of things now requires Google. Even like so they can actually get the kind of things you search for through their Google Analytics, so they can classify you guys into different categories. So I mentioned for specialized virtual assistant. So legal lawyers have some of their own tools, and they can train you on those tools. All this. So for the ones I mentioned, real estate agents and real estate photographers, I'm conversant with the real estate photographers part. Some of them in the US they use this tool called HD Photo Hub, and it is used to deliver photos. When they take photos, they send it to their editors. The editors edit and then re-upload back into the HD Photo Hub. And you'll be responsible for quality control and then sending out those photos to the agent, to the real estate agent. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I see a couple of questions I'd like to help them address. Oh Lord.
Okay. So Cynthia wants to address some of your questions. Okay, but before Cynthia comes up, let me check for more questions. So someone asked also, what about mentoring under people in various virtual assistant fields? Um, I don't really know about that, but if you can find virtual assistants or maybe your personal connections, if you know someone who is a virtual assistant, you can reach out to them if they can teach you about it, or you can learn online. A lot of people learn online, like what you're doing now. So please pour in your questions and let me see if I can answer them. Okay. Someone asked me to list the type of virtual assistants again. So let me go over them. So we have administrative, sorry, let me call the person's name. So Nelly, please listen to me. The types of virtual assistants we have administrative virtual assistants, technical virtual assistants, marketing virtual assistants, and specialized virtual assistants. If you search online, you can actually find more, or you can find exactly this. I hope you got me, Nelly. So let me look for more questions. Um, so how do we get the cost outline? For that, I don't know. I think the other technical people would get across to you, or I think via your emails.
Okay, I think I'm ready to take that one.
So can they typed PM? Sorry, what's that? What's PM?
Private message.
Oh, uh, for the training, I don't think you need a laptop. But if you want to go into your virtual assistant stuff, you would need a laptop because there are some things you can't really do on your phone, like to organize email, to go through the settings of organizing your client's email. It's much more complex when you look at it on the phone. But it's easier since you have a wider screen on your laptop, so it's easier to go through on your laptop. So please, attendance link isn't opening. Please, can that be fixed? So, Erase World. She said, for someone who is just starting out, how do we learn and pitch ourselves to our clients to get employed, considering that we don't have any track record from the past? That's a very interesting question. But Ire, you are going far. Come back to us. So that's why you have this training. We are going to guide you through the whole process and the whole pitch. Or that's why I think during the course outline I mentioned that we are going to teach you about personal branding. So positioning yourself is going to help a lot. But let me give you one quick tip. Before right now, you can start creating content on how to the virtual assistant. That's the world is becoming content based. So if you start creating content on that, by the time you are ready to start reaching out to people, by then you will have a whole backlog or a whole past that says you're a virtual assistant or videos. You would not just be a spam account. Those guys block a lot. So next question. Area World, hope you got that. Okay, I think I will send that to the okay. Ani Baba. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. She's he or she said, can we get the link, the soft copy of the slide? Please, I'll try to get that across to the other technical team, and then maybe they'll send it to you guys via email. For the various VA tools, yes, we'll train you on that. We'll train you on the various VA tools. So the platform you're using to learn, I think this is StreamYard. I think you guys are connected via YouTube. I'm sorry, technical team, the attendance link isn't opening.
Alright, hi everyone. Hi Deborah Light. Okay.
Okay, sorry for the attendance link. I just notified the technical team, so I think they should fix that for you guys. No, okay. For the class, we are going to move you guys to the LMS. So an LMS is a learning management system. So we are going to the technical team will onboard you guys to the LMS, and I think that's by next week, according to what I was told. Okay, for Nicole, she asked a very interesting question. So she said, "So how do you know which niche you will be good at? Do you learn everything, then pick what you want to specialize in?" A lot of people tell you to specialize in something, but it's better if you actually know everything first, and then you pick what you are good at. So that would be like your unique selling point. Businesses call it USP. So Nicole, hope that answered your question. So someone asked, "This what are automation tools?" Automation tools are tools that help you automate tasks. Like what I mentioned, Mailchimp. You can't really settle down to send out 100,000 emails all by yourself. You can't settle down to send out 100,000 emails all by yourself. You need an automation tools like the Mailchimp to send out those newsletters. So Cynthia is going to speak to you guys now, and I will be in the background.
Alright, goodness. Thank you so much for answering the questions you were able to answer. And then I saw in the comment section, and then I saw in the comment section where somebody asked this question about why did he or she choose to become a virtual assistant, and I would like to address that first because As a virtual assistant, one thing you will enjoy is the flexibility. I mean, you can often set your own work hours and you can decide to work from anywhere. As you can see, I am not at home. I am working from a cafe. And otherwise, if you were to do your regular 9 to 5 jobs, you would most likely be in an office that would be um, with people that you probably would not want to see every day. But being a virtual assistant, I can decide to choose where I work from. As a virtual assistant, I have a variety of work to choose from. I mean, virtual assistants, we can handle a range of tasks from administrative to supporting social media, and my personal favorite which is customer service. Um, there's variety in work. It just helps the job to be interesting and engaging. You don't have to do one thing over and over again. You have a variety of different tasks from which you are able to just handle or address. There is also a very high growing demand in virtual assistants. Believe it or not, many businesses, especially small and medium sized ones, are increasingly looking for virtual assistants to help carry out tasks and projects. So now this growing demand can create more job opportunities for virtual assistants. Now, as a virtual assistant, you need close to nothing to start up. You can start with your phone, but then it gets so the trick with using the reason why a laptop would always be your number one go-to work body is because there are certain tasks your phone cannot carry. Even if your phone is the latest iPhone 15, the screen size of the phone is a limitation. You are not able to move from tabs as you would a laptop or a computer. So the startup costs for being a virtual assistant is really, really low. All you have to do is to get adequate training, and you will. I mean, once you get the right training, I trained with ALX at the time when they were doing, when they had a course for virtual assistants. And at the time, it was free because I cannot remember who sponsored it at the moment, but then yes, I had that course with ALX. So I hope I'm able to touch on a few reasons why it is that you're here to become a virtual assistant. Also, I saw a question that asked, give me a moment, let me look for that question. Something about, so the question was, are there any essential tools for being a virtual assistant aside from Canva? Yes. So we have different tools that, so Canva, the only thing that Canva does is Canva helps with graphics to create flyers or make designs for posters and whatever. So there are like a lot of tools that we use as virtual assistants. For communications, we use Zoom. There is the Microsoft Teams. And today, and so another interesting thing about being a virtual assistant that I forgot to add is that you learn on the job. So today I got to learn about Stream. Yeah, I mean the streaming platform we're using right now to hold this class. So it's also a communication tool that you would use on the line of the job. Another personal favorite tool for communication is Slack. So now Slack is for team messaging. In the event where you get employed and you're working from, you have a team that you're working from. Now they would not necessarily use WhatsApp to communicate. Slack is the go-to. So let's say Slack is the official WhatsApp. Now Slack doesn't have the distraction. It just has the direct messaging between colleagues. So now what I normally call Slack my office because that is where all of the office banter goes on. That is where my boss sends message. That is where my colleague sends me reminders, or that is where we give feedback on ongoing tasks. So, as a virtual assistant, one of your favorite communication tool body is Zoom, which is from Google, and then Microsoft Teams. And also for texting communication, Slack is your go-to body. Now for project management tool, my personal favorite is Trello, but there is also Asana. Then for document managing, now I'm proficient in Google Workspace. I mean, many of you may be proficient with Microsoft, but my personal favorite is Google Works because Google has made their user interface very easy for scheduling tools. So you see now we're having different segments. We have a lot of things going on. So you can see now Canva doesn't necessarily cover all the aspects of your job. So Canva just deals with graphics design and maybe you know basically it's just for graphics design. Canva is your go-to body for that, which is also essential as a virtual assistant, but that's not the only tool you will need. There are, so like I've mentioned, the communication tools, Zoom, Microsoft Team, and Slack, the project management tools, that's Trello and Asana, document management, Google, my personal favorite, and then there's Microsoft Office for scheduling. Now, another thing about being a virtual assistant is scheduling meetings. Now, believe it or not, you are going to be the human calendar, and you have to be the human calendar for your team as a virtual assistant. And that is going to obviously not be possible. You also need a management tool in place. So for me, I use Calendly or this other Acuity scheduling app here. I use that. Now, Acuity is really easy because I can integrate it with my own personal calendar, and it will just show me. It will show me. It's able to tell me. It's able to show me my calendar and versus my work calendar, so I can just view both calendars at the same time. Then for email management, like goodness, I already mentioned Mailchimp, and then my personal favorite is Gmail, and then there is Outlook. Yeah, so there are like a lot of tools that, aside from Canva, that is really important for a virtual assistant. And now I'm going to go through another question. Let's see if you have another question for me. No, I see something about I see my name. It's another course of its own. It's very well. Yes, of course. So now, do not get me wrong. I'm going to be. I'm so sorry if I murdered this name. Olatiju Timitope. Of course. See, I understand that project management it's a very wide course on its own. But as a virtual assistant, you have to be keeping tracks of projects that your team has assigned to you. Not necessarily going into the integrals like the whole full blown project. Like, for example, um, I also work for a photographer, but I'm more into the wedding scene. So let's say I have a wedding, and the wedding is for it's for this week Saturday, and this week Saturday, just to confirm, is Saturday the 24th. Now, for me to be able to keep track of all the workflows, I will need a project management app to it's one of those tools to help me. So that is like that is basically what I'm trying to explain. I do understand that project management is another course on its own, but as virtual assistants, we also have to be on track with everything that is going on. Let's see. I know I saw something about you will get the timetable. I will make sure that the technical team sends that out tonight. Is there any relation or link between virtual assistants and project management? Yes, there is a very strong link. Virtual assistants handle just a little bit of project management, but that on its own, it's a niche on its own. People actually take full time courses to be project managers and get certified for that. Um, okay. So in the event where I miss your questions, can you please just, tag me? I don't know if you're able to tag me from here, but as a virtual assistant, okay, so I'm responding to Oluwatobi Adebisi's question. So her question is, as a virtual assistant that wants to focus on being a customer service representative for a company, what is needed for you to start? Really interesting question. Honestly, you need the basics. You need to do the basics too because um answer being a customer care virtual assistant, you would need to have a reliable communication tools. That means your so it depends on the company because now you would have to they'll have like a they'll have a client base and they would have already put in place a means or a CRM. I saw someone's question about CRM, but thank you, goodness, for already answering that. So some CRMs have phone system access in place that you can from there make calls. So as a virtual assistant that wants to niche customer assistance, you have to have reliable communication tools. You have to have a phone system in place. You have to have an email platform, and then not all of the companies use live chat softwares, but in the event that they do, you have to be sure that your live chat software is up and running. Then, like I think this is going to generally be based on the kind of company you're working from because they would have some systems in place from where you would perform all of your taxes. Um, Very important, you have to have very strong internet and you have to have equipment. Honestly, you have to have a noise cancel. In fact, everything you have to do, especially when you have to become a customer assistant, customer care representative, you have to have a noise cancellation system, like all of your system from your headset to your laptop, because just so we're able to, deal with the background noises that you all complained about. And our sincere apologies once again for that. We will make sure that in the next class, all of that is addressed. So you have to have you have to have a headset that's going to help cancel noises, a working system that's going to help cancel noises. If that is not possible because of the expense involved, you have to work from a place that you can control your environment in the sense that there is no noise whatsoever. And there is very important also is access to electricity. We're in Nigeria. The likelihood of there being 24 hours light is a problem. So, if especially as a customer care representative or a manager or whatever, you have to make sure that you have control over your power. Let's see. I hope I've been able to answer that well. How does CRM relate to virtual assistant? We use CRMs to work as virtual assistants. So it's we just go hand in hand. So CRMs basically helps us manage our client relationships, like and track interactions. Our CRMs are like our how do I put this? The way WhatsApp works and WhatsApp helps you keep in track with your friends. That's how CRM works. But CRM is more like the official platform from where you can interact with your client, and it has a database of all the interactions from where you can go and track and take records of whatsoever. Let's see. Is there any link between project management and is there any? So I think I have answered this question before, but I will take it again. So the question is there any link between project management and virtual assistants? Yes, there is a strong link between project management and virtual assistant work. And this is how they connect. Tax management, just like I explained before. As a virtual assistant, you are often responsible for handling multiple tasks that either it's for the client or it's for the company. Now, project management tools and the skills, they help you organize and prioritize your tasks efficiently. Now, coordination. Now, this, so now virtual assistants, but we would need most of the time we will need to coordinate between like different teams. We work in different for myself, I work with photographers, I work with the editors, I work with the actual people on site, I work with planners and all of that. Now these project management tools and the skill and the techniques, they come in hand where they help create timelines and then they set the milestones. And this is why I say that as a virtual assistant, you will touch the tip of the iceberg when it comes to like project management. You are not necessarily going to delve into the whole thing. You basically just need something that's going to keep you in check, something that's going to keep you accountable for all of your tasks. So that is where the project management tools come in place. You will need the skills to be able to be committed to these timelines that you have set for yourself, and also for client communication. So in project management, clear communications between the clients and your office is very essential. And as the project management tools cannot do the talking, you as a virtual assistant, you are the communication bridge that ensures that the task is understood and then the updates are shared efficiently across board. So that is the reason why the project management tools are in place for virtual assistants to use, or the project management tools are in place so that certified project management managers can use. I hope that answered this question. How do CRM relate to? Okay, so I've answered that question. I'm so sorry. I will not go back to that for now. Cynthia, please talk more on administrative VA. What are the branches of virtual assistants? I think, goodness, you've helped us with that already. Okay. Can you please explain marketing virtual assistants again? Okay. So I think I will take, oh, my apologies. Olua Timi Lane. I'm a Yoruba girl too, but I am so sorry I keep murdering our names. It's not my best. So I'm going to answer your question where you tagged me to asking about talking more about virtual assistants. So now, being a virtual assistant, as fun as it is really demanding. I will not lie. You are not only providing remote administrative support to your company or your business or whoever it is that you'll be working for. It is you'll be providing this role you'll be handling various tasks to make sure that the business is organized and running smoothly. I like to call myself the back end of my company because while everything is working on our social media page, everything is like everybody just sees everything working smoothly. A wedding is booked, a wedding is shot, everybody's happy. Nobody necessarily knows what's going on the behind of the whole scene, and that is where I come in. So I take glory in being at the back end of things. So our key responsibility as virtual assistants is to handle emails. You're going to have to be on top of your games with your emails. I know many of us have personal emails that we neglect, but the moment you become a virtual assistant, Gmail, Outlook is going to become your best bud because there's going to be like a lot of email communication coming in. People are always going to ask you for something. People are always going to make clarification. People are going to always come to complain, which I'll talk about later, handling complaint or handling, but that will be on a later course anyway. So our key responsibility as virtual assistants is to handle is email management. We will also scheduling and calendar management, data entry. So now data entry entails, once a client comes in, you have to take the data, the name, the address, the phone numbers, the email address. Why is the client coming in? What does the client need? Excuse me. Are we able to provide this service for the client? If yes, so this is the data entry segment. Now document preparation. Now for document preparation, yeah, there are it depends on who it is that you're working for. It depends on what it is that you're so basically creating and formatting documents such as reports or presentation, will it will be determined by the company you're working for. In my case, as a virtual assistant for a wedding photographer, I handle everything from booking, making sure the gallery is delivered correctly, and whatnot. So you have to be proficient in your sheets, your work documents, your Excel sheets, your PowerPoint presentations. If you are also to, so if you're working directly with a CEO and he needs you to like help him make research and prepare a PowerPoint for a presentation he's having the next day, you have to be proficient in PowerPoint. Another responsibility that virtual assistants handle is customer service. So we handle into now that's where I major in. So for customer services, we are handling inquiries. We respond to customer email. We're saying email here again, right? We have to handle customer email. We have to manage customer relationship, which is very essential for a customer service agent. And then if the company, like I say, if they work with live chat support, you have to be on your game. So now remember, live chat is not your WhatsApp. This is an official platform discuss with um from where you discuss with clients and prospects, basically prospect clients. Some virtual assistants will have to handle travel arrangements, that is, book flights, hotels, transportation, and create detailed travel itineraries. So these are part of the responsibilities that a virtual assistant that is required of a virtual assistant. Now, the skills required as a virtual assistant, uh, there are some really, really core skills you're going to have or learn because, like I mentioned before, another interesting part of being a virtual assistant is you learn on the job. I, for one, I have never been an organized person before, but being on this job, I have learned the hard way how to be organized. So, as a virtual assistant, as an administrative virtual assistant, executive virtual assistant, technical virtual assistant, whatever it is, whatever type of virtual assistant that you are, you must be highly organized to manage multiple tasks and clients efficiently. Because believe you me, when the workload comes, you have to prioritize. You and in the coming days, I will teach you how I have managed to prioritize most of my work, especially on days where the workload just feels so overwhelming for me. So, an important skill you have to learn because people would say, "Ah, I'm organized." It's not a natural gift. Nobody should play it. Nobody should play it down for you. You will learn. You will learn, and you will learn the hard way. But I'm not trying to scare you. It's just trying to prepare you that this is not just going to help your work life. It's going to also help your personal life. As a virtual assistant, another important skill you have to learn is communication. Clear and professional communication is the key as a virtual assistant. I mean, if you're having the slightest issues, communicate it. If you're not able to meet up to tasks, communicate it. If See, the thing I have learned on the job is those things that you think you can shrug off and be like, I will handle it later, or nobody needs to know. Everybody needs to know what it is that is going on. If you call a client and the client does not pick, now it depends on the situation. But if in the event, for example, case study, I will use myself. Okay, so earlier today, one of our photographers was delayed. Like he was meeting up late for a shoot, and he had sent me a message to let me know that okay, hi Cynthia, I'm stuck in traffic. I will be getting to the studio at this time. So now, effective communication is for me to first and foremost let the team know. I had to let the general team know that photographer A is being delayed, and then I had to call the client. Now, as virtual assistants, we should be able to not only read our client's emotion, but we should also be able to manage their expectations. So I called my client and I just explained it to her that okay, so this is what's happening. Your photographer is being delayed, and as a so one trick I learned on the job: if you're given a set time for like 2 p.m. Just give the photographer like a 5 minute added time on it. So I that's what I did, and I was able to communicate. Now this I was able to manage the client expectation as regards what time the photographer was going to come, and then good thing the photographer arrived in good time, so everything ended well. So clear and professional communication is really, really an important skill as a virtual assistant. Time management, this will be very, very tricky, but you would learn it on the job as you would have the primary knowledge, the ones that the theoretical aspect is going to provide for you. But then as you grow, you would learn how to manage your time because honestly, a time will come when it's going to be work, 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 and you will not be able to balance manage your work life. So it's not going to be work, 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 and then you feel as though you're losing yourself, and you sometimes, and that's when we lose moves. That is at that point we lose virtual assistants where they get lost to the job and then they're not able to balance their work life. So time management is really, really important. This helps you learn how to prioritize your task, and then you learn how to meet their deadlines and keep everything. This will just help you keep everything running smoothly. Now, this next point I'm about to give should be the number one skill, which is attention to details. Administrative assistants, we need to be precise, especially when handling data entries, scheduling, and document presentation preparation. Attention to detail is one thing at a point in time as a virtual assistant, I was struggling with. So the littlest thing as a double S or having two commas in a document can ruin the hard work you have put into it. So before you turn in any document, before you submit anything, before you send a client any message, you have to reread this document. Now, unlike WhatsApp that has an edit option, some of these CRM don't have an edit option. You will just send a message, and then you will then see after you've sent the message that is either you didn't spell your name with a, or maybe the letter you used, something will just go wrong. So you please have to pay serious attention. Like I always advise to read 2 times. I read it twice, take a walk, go back again and read it, because you really don't want to be making too much mistakes, and then you now start hearing things like, you don't pay attention, your document is always having mistakes. You would not want that to happen. Another The last skill you need to be tech savvy. You need to familiarize yourself with Microsoft. I'm not a big fan of Microsoft, I'm not going to lie. For me, it's Google. Google has made it really easy for me. So Google is like my go-to workspace that I enjoy working from, and Trello is also my favorite project management tool. So I hope I've been able to answer the question that Oluwatimile. I'm so sorry. I hope I'll be able to answer that question for you. Let's see, Miss Cynthia. So this is Perpetual. Is saying, please, do we learn these other skills along with virtual assistants within 3 months? We will touch it. The truth of the matter is, you would have to learn. The best we can do is to give you the theoretical aspects and then practical case studies that will help on the long run. But you have to learn like on the go. So Amira is asking, do we get certified after this training? Yes, you will get certified after this training. Onome is asking, hi Cynthia. I initially registered for project management, but now I just joined and want to learn. That is very good. So, I mean, it's the first step. What people don't understand about being a virtual assistant for once, as in one important training, is the fact that you get to learn how to work from, like, how basically it's working virtually from your system. As a project manager, you will not necessarily be working from an office. Um, you will not necessarily get to work from an office. So the virtual assistant is going to give you, it's going to be like a warm up for project management. You're going to get the basic ideas, and then when you go into project management, you would have like a more in depth knowledge. Johnson is asking, does it mean we have to take a project management as a course? If you want to, you can take it as a course. All I'm saying is the project management tools, the tools help our work easy to go like a lot smoother. Bello is asking, are we going to join a project management class too? I am currently unable to answer that question as I do not know if our team is going to provide a project management course. But I do know for a fact that we are going to touch a little bit about project management. And yeah, we'll just give you the basic knowledge that you'll be needing to be proficient, at least. So, what's the interview process for a VA like, Debbie? For starters, it's going to be virtually. It's going to be, you have to have a working system, well lit environment, which I promise we would work on. So and you're going to just it's going to be like a normal interview, depending on what it is that you are applying for. But the only difference is that you're going to be working from your laptop, and you'd have a camera in place, and then you just get to have practice questions. It's basically the same thing with a physical interview, but in our case, it's going to be in front of a camera, and then you'll be talking to the board from a screen. How can I deal with the fear? Hi, Favor. So this is so. How can I deal with the fear of being? I want to believe you said of being a virtual assistant. You learn how to outgrow it eventually. My first few days, my first few months were really scary because I mean it's not the usual it wasn't the usual meeting people live, and I was always worried about the network connection. I was worried about lights. So you on the job you would learn how to overcome the fear. Don't worry. And if ever you need someone to talk to, because honestly being a virtual assistant on the long run it can be, I'm not going to tell you down. I want all of when all of us get there, we would all talk about it. So for you don't have to worry. It's okay to be afraid. It's normal with any job. Very very normal. So don't worry, no fears, and I can provide my email address to answer any questions relating to fear. I just want to assure you and reassure you that you have nothing to worry about. You're going to outgrow it. Whatever it is that you're worried about, on the job you will learn how to build some kind of resistance over it. Lulokwe is asking, please can I change to another class? Oh, you can probably just send an email to the team and they would address that for you. Olamide is asking, are we going to be trained on various types of virtual assistants? I'll leave that to the technical team, but we will give you the basic learning, and then maybe not maybe we will touch the basics for other virtual assistants. But for this course, we're going to just set you up for being, it's just going to be the generalized knowledge of being a virtual assistant. The other niches you would learn on the go, like I said before. Project management, attendance. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Oluwatobi. So Ira is asking, when you say creating content against when we'll be fully equipped for the job, what kind of content are we expected to create and where do we post them? this is a your question. So when you're talking about creating of content, okay, so for the creator of content part, as a virtual assistant, you have to sell yourself. So if you, for example, you get to Upworks, okay, for example, you get to Upworks and example, you get to Upworks, you need to have a profile. You have to have a portfolio. Now that is where the creating of content comes in. You have to have a portfolio. Now this portfolio is your track record of activities that you have done. So that is where the creating of content. Not necessarily. Now, when we say creating of content, we don't necessarily mean to dance or. Nah, we just I would just I will just leave it there. You just need to have like a detailed portfolio. It's something we can. I will take you through that in the course of the class. I promise. That is what I will do. Hi Cynthia. I'm co-axing on Mary. So I do not know what. So Temi Olua, I really do not know what question it is you're asking there. Let's see. Can we make use of phone or must it be a laptop? Honestly, it must be a laptop. Like I said, okay, for example, this is your phone and this is the screen size. Now imagine you need to text, you need to work on email, you need to make sure you're calling the client, you need to work on your calendar. Your phone screen is not going to give you adequate space to go around. So my best advice is please get a laptop to use, and it will greatly help if you ask the question and not tell me you're co-asking a question that somebody asked, because I am unable to go back to whoever it is you have asked about. So it must be a laptop, please. Please, it must be a laptop, because even when you get the job, you will be asked to have a laptop. Now the the phone is a backup. It's your backup option in the event where your laptop dies. There's no power. You can use your phone in the meantime while you're charging your laptop. Let's see. I saw one question. I'm an accountant by profession. I want to marry my profession and assist companies solve accounts and finance related problem. What do I need to achieve this? I am currently not equipped to answer this question right now. I will, however, push this to our technical team and they will help me with a response. So we have a lot of questions that we will go over, and I will probably just I'll find some way to, either we answer this, I'll find a way to answer this. And yes, Tayo, there's a difference between the virtual assistant and virtual analysis. There's a very big difference. How to create a portfolio, I don't know what to do a job. Oh my god, there's a lot of questions that I want to answer, but our time is against us. So I will I'll hand over to Goodness so he can help us close the class. Thank you. It was lovely meeting all of you. Technical team, can you please put goodness on? Thank you. And while the technical team is trying to swap, thank you so much, everybody. I look forward to our classes together. Thank you for having me. Okay, so the link to the Telegram class will be shared. I will make sure our technical team sends that across. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you for having me. I am excited about sharing all that I have learned on this job with you all. You're welcome, Choma. Thank you. God bless you too. Can we make use? Adekunle, you can make use of a tab, but nothing beats a laptop. That's the truth. Now, okay, so now you see the user interface of a tab. It depends on the tab actually. So that would be just that would. But a laptop is okay. So please kindly mark your attendance. All
All
right,
right, awesome.
awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cynthia. We really appreciate all the good information and thank you for answering a lot of the questions because I was confused. I was just listening to Cynthia and I was learning a lot from her as well. So, if you haven't signed or marked yourself in through the attendance, click on the link and it's working now. So it's starred. If you check the live above the chat, you'll see a starred section. So that's that. You can click on the link and sign your attendance. Well, so it was so nice meeting all of you. If you don't remember my name, that would hurt me a lot. I am goodness, by the way. Yeah. Just reminding you guys. Thank you, Chizoba. Judith. Thank you, Judith. It was nice meeting you too. And okay. So hopefully we'll get to see you guys again. The schedule for the class will be communicated to you guys. So this week was just to introduce you guys to being what being a virtual assistant entails, and hopefully in our next class we'll go deeper and you guys will learn a lot. I can assure you that once you learn how to what once you learn about virtual assisting, you would enjoy it because you would like have one of the best jobs. Okay, not really one not the best, but you would enjoy it a
It is the
lot.
best.
Okay, Cynthia says it is the best. So you would enjoy being a virtual assistant. Once you get a job, let's not go too far. So let's come back to earth. I saw a lot of questions I wanted to answer, but hopefully in the next class we'll get to answer that, or we'll get to answer those. We'll answer all your questions, hopefully. So thank you guys, and I believe we have come to the end of this class for today. See you guys next time, next class. The time will be communicated to you guys, all of you, and we hope all of you will be able to make it. It was nice meeting you all. Adios.